Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, the jury in the Zachary Borg trial delivered a verdict today.
Borg's infant daughter suffered an overdose back in July. Investigators who searched the home said they discovered fentanyl in several rooms, including the child's bedroom. He was found guilty of aggravated assault, domestic violence, reckless conduct, and endangering the welfare of a child. Assistant District Attorney Chelsea Lynn says changes in the law are needed to better protect children who are exposed to drugs.
Most of the laws that we would be able to prosecute in a case like this are now protected under the new Good Samaritan law, except for the aggravated assault. What we really need is a felony endangering the welfare of a child law, and we need to have the ability to prosecute it.
Borg's sentencing is scheduled to take place on November 21st.
Well, a Waterville man has been indicted for conspiring to provide materials to support terrorists and possessing homemade explosive devices. A federal grand jury charged 19-year-old Xavier Pelkey in a 2-count indictment. According to the indictment and court records, between November 2021 and February 2022, Pelkey allegedly conspired with other individuals to conduct a violent attack on a Shia mosque in the Chicago area. The indictment also alleges on February 11th of this year, Pelkey allegedly possessed 3 homemade explosive devices that were not registered to him. If convicted, Pelkey faces up to 15 years in prison on the material support charge and 10 years in prison for the destructive device charge.
Congressman Jared Golden has declared victory in Maine's 2nd Congressional District. With over 95% of the votes tallied, Golden's camp says they have an 11,000 vote lead, which he says makes a Poliquin win, quote, functionally impossible. At a press conference in Lewiston this morning, Golden said, quote, I am deeply honored the people of Maine's 2nd Congressional District have chosen me to represent them in Washington for another 2-year term. Although Bruce Poliquin may not be willing to concede, at this point, the final result is undeniably clear, end quote. The Secretary of State's office will oversee the ranked choice voting or instant runoff since no candidate has cleared 50% of the vote as required by Maine law. The results will be tabulated on Tuesday.
Well, the Maine Lobstermen's Association has filed their first brief in their appeal of a federal court decision that upheld what they call unjust and devastating proposed cuts to the industry. The MLA had filed suit in D.C. District Court against the National Marine Fisheries Service, challenging the science behind the new cuts as well as the cuts themselves. The court initially sided with the government agency, so the MLA appealed. Their brief explains that the law requires the Fisheries Service to use the best scientific and commercial data available and ensure only that the lobstermen are not likely to jeopardize the right whale population. Instead, they argue the agency relied on worst-case scenarios and assumptions that aren't even supported by the agency's own data. The MLA also says other threats like vessel strikes are not being adequately addressed.
We are being overregulated. We are being asked to solve too big of a piece of the problem because we know whales are dying elsewhere. We know whales are dying due to vessel strikes. So a full closure of the Maine lobster fishery year-round in state and federal waters is not going to take care of those deaths. So we will do more. We will get rope out of the water. We will modify our gear as necessary, but we have to make sure that our fishery is not eliminated.
Well, the MLA's appeal has been expedited, so it is on a fast track to be heard. With the MLA brief filed, the National Marine Fisheries Service and other stakeholders will now file briefs of their own. The MLA will have the opportunity to draft a reply to those briefs before oral arguments are heard, and that hearing is expected to be sometime in January.
Some great news for the Skowhegan area. The Somerset Mill is getting an upgrade. Sappi North America, who owns the mill in Skowhegan and has 750 employees, announced today it's investing $418 million in their number 2 paper machine. It will change the type of paper they're producing, increase its capacity, and make solid bleached sulfate board. They say this product will be a sustainable alternative to plastic packaging.
Sappi had the foresight and the strategic plan to begin diversifying into different grades. And the success that we've had the last couple of years in doing that has really built the foundation and the confidence for us to take this next step.
Wallace says the change won't take place until 2025, but they plan to start soon with around $70 million invested in 2023 alone. He also says there could be up to 1,000 contractors needed to get the upgrade done. Governor Mills released a statement this morning saying in part that those changes will help make the mill more competitive on the global level. She says by diversifying the forest products made in Maine, the state will strengthen the forest products sector and sustain the good-paying jobs it creates.
Well, John Stein has secured his spot on the Ellsworth City Council following a recount today. The recount was issued exclusively for candidates John Linehan and John Stein to determine who would take the third and final available seat on the council. Stein won by a margin of just 56 votes after the initial tally. The city clerk's office spent all day recounting the votes. And Michelle Beal and Tammy Moat have had enough votes to secure the two other available seats.
After much anticipation, the city of Augusta has broken ground at the new location for its police department. Matthew Jurancic has more.
A groundbreaking ceremony took place at 7 Willow Street in Augusta Thursday morning. At the site of the old Hannaford, city officials marked the occasion with shovels and dirt.
This moment for a lot of us is something that's been 30 years in the making.
The ceremony was a huge success as many citizens, retirees, and members of the force heard speeches from Augusta Police Chief Jared Mills and the city's Director of Development Services Matt Nazar about the next steps in the project.
And it's been a process to get to this point and making sure that we have a facility that's going to be serving the community for the many years to come.
Searching for a new location began as early as 2018 when Police Chief Mills needed a location that would best serve the community.
The biggest thing we wanted to be was centrally located. We used to be across the street, so it's a fitting spot to be centralized in the city where folks can actually walk to the police station if they need to, and we're easily accessed by the public.
The money came from a 2021 vote to allow the city to borrow more than $20 million to acquire the land and build a new state-of-the-art building.
When I saw the results of the vote from our community with this overwhelming landslide of support to approve this project, it just warmed my heart. Our police officers, our men and women, feel very supported by our community.
Excavators are here on the scene to start the 65-week project, which is set to start as early as tomorrow with demolition. Reporting from Augusta, Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
That project is expected to be completed by February of 2024. And speaking of the winter time, as we head into it, it feels like we haven't even been, reaching those temperatures that are indicative of changing into that season. It still, some days, feels like early fall, even late summer.
Well, I expect since we've had that last little burst of warmth last week, I think that's the last we're going to see, obviously, of the 70s, probably of the upper 60s with a rare exception. I think we're looking at, low 60s, 50s and below from here on out. I do think we're going to see that sort of, I don't want to call it a descent because it's negative, a gradual and final transition into late fall winter temperatures, many welcoming that change. This girl right here, one of them, for sure. Definitely looking forward to the cooler temps and with a little bit more on what we can expect, at least in the overnight. Let's take a first look at our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth. Our first weather is brought to you by Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest rug cleaning destination for over 70 years. Speaking of 70, look at Green Bay coming in at 70 degrees right now. So lots of warm air, not only in Green Bay, but down the eastern seaboard. That is ahead of this cold front right over here in Minneapolis right now, and it's going to continue to push our way. The winds are blowing pretty much from the south, so that is bringing in all of those warm temperatures. We've been really into those warm temperatures the last several weeks. But because of the winds, we do have some small craft advisories in effect until 11 a.m. on Friday and some gale warnings in effect until 5 p.m. on Saturday. So if you're out and about enjoying the last bits of the warm weather, take extra precautions. Tonight, though, temperatures will continue to drop into those low to mid 40s. Beth?
All righty, Conrad, thanks so much.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. Today, Houston University in Bangor honored veterans for their service and sacrifice.
And how area towns are honoring local veterans with special banners as well. Those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
We're a AAA family.
We found out about AAA insurance through a friend who had actually mentioned it a while ago. We ran the numbers and it totally worked.
We looked at the statement for our previous insurer and then AAA insurance. Definitely, we've seen a huge difference.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
By switching over to AAA insurance, we saved over $450. So with our savings, he bought more equipment.
More money means more practice equipment.
In his world.
Why didn't we do this earlier? Why did it take so long?
We're a AAA family now.
AAA insurance allows us to do so much more with our kids and spend more time with them.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 877-209-5197 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
All the fallout from an intense night at Crown Jewel, plus Santos Escobar versus Shinsuke Nakamura. An all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll have your weekend community calendar with events going on in the area, plus your full weather forecast to help aid decision-making for your weekend plans. And we'll have Mr. Food in with meal ideas as always. All of this and more to get your Veterans Day weekend kicked off as early as possible.
Welcome back, everyone. Husson University in Bangor honored veterans for their service and their sacrifice. The presentation included remarks from several speakers, including an active duty Army soldier who just came back after a 3-year overseas tour in South Korea, and a professor of military science at the University of Maine.
This is an awesome event. The recognition of this, of our service and the community and the veterans here is just amazing by the university here. I'm proud to be a part of it. Proud to be a part of today.
The event included a minute of silence and a national roll call to honor those who've served, those who are serving, and those who gave their lives in service to our country.
And the towns of Benton, Fairfield, and Clinton have put up banners honoring local veterans. The Fairfield VFW Post met with local historian Buddy Frost and decided the banners were a great way to honor those who've served. Locals hope that the banners remind future generations of the service and sacrifice of those who've come before them.
I know a lot of people who come through here and see these banners, and they see like the ones in front of me here, Fred Albert and Dick Goodwin. They knew them, they grew up with them, they were storekeepers here in town, but until they saw the banners, they never realized that they were ever in the military because it wasn't talked about then. So bringing these people to life and their history and everything and documenting it for future generations is important to us.
Yeah. Well, about 90 banners have been put up, but there are even more to be hung still.
Box of Maine has found a creative and tasty way to help veterans as well. The company packages Maine-made foods and items into boxes that give a little bit of the tastes of Maine, or that Maine is famous for, to those who receive those boxes. Now they've created a way to sponsor a Maine soldier. They're hoping to send hundreds of the boxes to those away from home serving their country.
Some people would love to bless a soldier from Maine with a box, and there's other people that just financially they just can't afford to send a box. And so I wanted to connect those two together so that we can get a piece of home to our soldiers that are serving away this holiday season.
Well, this month, they're also teaming up with the Maine Veterans Project to raise money for their heating fuel program. Box of Maine has had 600 cedar dog tags made from locally sourced cedar trees in Down East Maine. They are for sale, and 100% of those proceeds will go to the fund to help veterans in need. To order or find out more, you can go to their website, boxofmaine.com.
Well, for the last year, we have been going around the state talking with Mainers who've served in World War II and collecting their stories. On Friday night, we will be airing our fourth segment, Our Heroes, Their Own Words. It features 8 Mainers, both men and women, telling their stories from a variety of experiences.
I was just a small town girl, and there wasn't much around here, you know, to do or anything. And my brothers were Coast Guardmen, so they paved the way for me, and I thought, well, if they were that young and joined that for President Roosevelt, I think probably I could do as good as they have.
Well, the 1-hour special airs this Friday, Veterans Day, at 8 p.m. on ABC 7. That is appointment television right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait to hear all those stories, and even that little snippet is just so intriguing.
Yeah, it's totally piqued my curiosity. I can't wait to hear her story.
Yep.
Alrighty, folks. Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, new consumer price index data shows inflation is easing further than economists expected.
And former President Trump's shadow loomed large over Tuesday's midterms, and not in a good way for Republicans. We'll have those stories and much more as the Fox 22 News at 10 continues.
Sometimes big truck accidents can result in big case settlements. These are just some of the big case results I fought to get my clients. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Made with our exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. We custom build your replacement windows in the USA and back them with the nation's best warranty. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select as many veterans as possible to win a gift card. Locally sponsored by Engstrom's Auto Service, Maine Military Supply, R&K Variety, and Village Variety.
Find half-off deals today and save money by going to foxbangor.com. You're watching Fox 22 Bangor.
A new inflation report shows prices eased more than economists expected in October. While the White House sees the drop as a sign of progress, others say it's too early to take a victory lap. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
Optimism rose Thursday over signs inflation may be dropping.
Consumer prices spiked 7.7% in October compared with the year before. While still high, the number is down from 8.2% in September, and the president is taking a victory lap.
I'm convinced that we're going to be able to gradually bring down prices so that they, in fact, end up with us not having to move into recession.
It's the latest boost for the president, who's also touting his party's better-than-expected midterm performance. Republicans had predicted a red wave as they blamed Democrats for inflation. But control of Congress is still hanging in the balance, with many states continuing to count votes.
It looks to me like we'll end up right back where we started, a 50-50 Senate.
Republicans, however, are poised to secure a narrow majority in the House, and they'll likely undermine the president's agenda.
So we've moved the needle in the right direction, but we are seeing across the country right now, these races are tight.
Critics also say even if prices are cooling, many are still struggling to make ends meet.
We're not at any point where anybody can take a victory lap. The fact is there's a lot of work to do.
Investors are hoping Thursday's report means the Federal Reserve won't have to raise interest rates as high as previously expected to tackle inflation. The Fed is expected to make a decision in December. In Washington, Malta Rivera, Fox News.
Well, the slow and methodical ballot counting for which Nevada is well known is keeping Republicans and Democrats waiting on those critical results, which could decide the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Mail-in ballots postmarked November 8th could arrive as late as this Saturday and legally still have to be counted. It's one of the reasons state officials there say they have to do this right, not fast. Fox's Jonathan Hunt has more.
We're working as hard as we possibly can in order to get the ballots counted. But whether we like it or not, there's no way that we can move any faster than we're currently moving.
Democratic incumbent Senator Catherine Cortez Masto is currently marginally behind her Republican challenger Adam Laxalt.
We are exactly where we want to be in this race.
Laxalt is winning in almost every county, in many by a wide margin. His problem, as it always is for Republicans in Nevada, is that he is well behind in the Democratic stronghold of Clark County, with Las Vegas at its heart. Laxalt also appears to be losing momentum in Washoe County, Nevada's second most populous, prompting the Cortez Masto campaign to tweet, quote, CCM just took the lead in Washoe, and more Dem-heavy mail is pouring in from Clark. As we said, we're on track to win this. Laxalt, though, remains bullish, also taking to Twitter to say of Cortez Masto's prospects, quote, we expect the remaining male universe to fall well below the percentage she needs to catch us. No status change. In the other significant undecided race here, incumbent Democratic Governor Steve Sisolak currently trails Republican challenger Sheriff Joe Lombardo. Former President Trump said today Clark County's voting system is, quote, corrupt. Officials here dismissed that as outrageous and uninformed and pointed out they heard the same claims from Mr. Trump and now Republican Senate candidate Adam Laxalt 2 years ago, and no evidence of widespread fraud or corruption was ever found. In Las Vegas, Nevada, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Georgians are gearing up for another 4 weeks of campaigning. The Senate race between incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker is headed now for a December 6th runoff. Fox's Aisha Hosni is in Atlanta with the latest.
Are you ready, Georgia?
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock galvanizing supporters in Atlanta today in his first public appearance since the race for Senate went to a runoff against Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
I never thought that I ever do this, but I think the Lord prepared me for a moment like this right here.
The football star will also hit the ground running, holding a rally tonight in Canton with Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who will try to help shore up the Republican base after incumbent Governor Brian Kemp outperformed Walker Tuesday night.
For those of you who made a different choice this time, whether for Herschel Walker or someone else, I want to speak directly to you.
Both candidates are also fighting for the 80,000-plus Georgians who voted for Libertarian Chase Oliver.
I felt like I could cause a runoff, and it turns out I did.
But it's anyone's guess where those voters will go.
Are you throwing your support behind either of these two?
I'm not going to tell you how to vote. Your vote is your voice.
While Warnock carries a long list of celebrity endorsements, only fellow Democratic Senator John Ossoff joined him on the trail in the final days before the midterm election. The White House is offering up President Biden.
Clearly, the president will do whatever Senator Warnock needs him to do to help him win.
Unclear if the senator will take him up on it. And the fundraising arm for Senate Republicans setting up a joint committee to help Walker with his campaign on the left. The Democratic Senate Campaign Committee just announced that they'll be pouring in $7 million to help Warnock. In Atlanta, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
Former President Trump's shadow loomed large over Tuesday's midterms, and not in a good way for some Republicans. He's still poised to make a big announcement Tuesday in Florida, hinting this would be his 2024 campaign kickoff. To win the GOP nomination, however, he may ultimately have to defeat his state's governor, Ron DeSantis, who won re-election in a landslide. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Here's the New York Post's view on the midterms and the Trump effect. And here's the former president's take, claiming that so many of the candidates he endorsed went on to victory and reminding people he's a stable genius.
There were still plenty of Republicans in the style of Trump that won election that will contribute to the new House majority and possibly the new Senate majority.
Republicans also scored wins on the state level. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a potential presidential nominee in 2024, easily won re-election.
You look at Florida, you look at Governor DeSantis, you look at Miami-Dade County, you see the way the Latino vote moved in Florida. That's the blueprint that Republicans need to take.
President Trump is set to make an announcement on Tuesday, perhaps about a 2024 run, potentially setting up a primary against DeSantis and a general election rematch from 2020.
Who do you think would be the tougher competitor, Ron DeSantis or former President Trump, and how is that factoring into your decision?
It'll be fun watching them take on each other.
Both Trump and President Biden loomed large in the midterms. A Fox News voter analysis found that 58% of voters said Trump was a factor in their vote, and 65% said the same about Mr. Biden. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
All right, and there is still much more to come on the Fox 22 News at 10.
Stay with us.
Start Saturday strong as C.J. Stroud and number 2 Ohio State battle Indiana. Big noon Saturday on Fox.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th. Presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Now you can take on the elements with confidence because your New England Ford dealers have weather-ready SUVs in stock for immediate delivery. From Escape with available intelligent all-wheel drive, to Explore with a terrain management system, to Bronco Sport with GOAT modes. Whatever the forecast brings, you'll be prepared to take the season by storm. Drive home your weather-ready Ford SUV with financing as low as 0.9% on select 2022 models.
It's time to take care of you. Colonoscopies are the trusted test to detect and prevent colon cancer before it's too late. Physicians at the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center are here to help you live life to the fullest, starting with a screening colonoscopy. Put the facts before your fear. Call the St. Joseph Digestive Health Center at 907-3550 to schedule your colonoscopy today. It's time.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetspeed.com to check availability in your area.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select as many veterans as possible to win a gift card. Locally sponsored by C&K Variety, Goose River Farms, Herman Motor Company Used Cars, and Pat's Pizza Hamden.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th. Presented by the Maine Potato Board. MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Welcome back. Layoffs are just one of the moves by Meta aimed at cutting costs. Fox's Tom Vakar reports.
Blaming the situation on overhiring during the pandemic, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is eliminating a whopping 11,000 jobs, 13% of the company's employees.
Zuckerberg is making this bet that sometime in the future, the company will thrive based on the money he's spending right now, but this money is not paying off in revenue.
A hiring freeze will remain in place. No more non-essential travel. Excess real estate will be gone, and many cost cuts aimed at excesses, very likely including generous staff perks, will rile surviving employees.
Free food and laundry and all sorts of perks. I suspect some of those are going to go away. A mass layoff like what happened at Meta is going to affect morale, and existing employees are going to be upset, and some will leave.
It is nothing less than culture shock.
We have a whole generation of Gen Z people that have never come close to experiencing the effects of inflation and a potential recession.
Despite generous severance packages, the layoffs come at a time when the social media industry is losing billions in advertising revenues.
Even though it's a social media company, Meta and Facebook are media companies. And all media companies that depend on advertising are affected when the economy goes south.
According to Layoff Tracker, beyond the 11,000 Meta layoffs, Salesforce also laid off 1,000 workers on Monday. And last week, Twitter got rid of 3,700. Other tech companies this week alone laid off 2,000 more. And the hits just keep on coming. Tech job layoffs are now near the number of available posted jobs. But the companies have no choice but to cut, and to cut deep as necessary.
It's like cancer surgery, so the question is, the first time you do it, the relevant question is, did you get it all? And whether they made enough cuts.
Again, that was Tom Vakar reporting, and Meta is giving its laid-off workers severance in the form of 16 weeks of base pay and an additional 2 weeks for every year an employee has worked at the company. Meta will also pay for laid-off workers' remaining paid time off and will cover health care costs for the laid-off workers and their families for 6 months.
Well, looking abroad now, Russian troops are headed out of Kherson. It's a sign some are cautiously hoping will mean good things to come for Ukrainians fighting for their sovereignty. Fox's Greg Palcott has more from Kyiv.
As of today, the occupiers have left these settlements. There is no official information yet, but there is no presence of occupiers in these settlements.
Russia withdrawing from the southern city of Kherson Thursday, the only regional capital captured by the Kremlin since the invasion began back in February. Ukraine's national police releasing video showing destroyed homes and ruined buildings from a newly retaken village in the Kherson region.
So this time they're trying to avoid that disaster and also to save, the troops. They have lost almost 100,000 soldiers. So politically, it's quite significant loss for President Putin in this war.
Russian officials saying the move to leave Kherson and much of the surrounding area was in the best interest of the people and part of an approved plan to maneuver troops to the other side of the Dnieper River.
Kherson and nearby settlements can't be properly supplied and function. People's lives are constantly in danger. The enemies fire indiscriminately at the city. Prohibited methods of warfare may be used.
As Kremlin forces partially withdraw in the region, Ukrainian authorities in neighboring Mykolaiv are hoping to get a break from constant shelling and work on getting power and heat back for residents ahead of winter. Ukrainian officials say that investigative units are working in the Kherson area to detect any evidence of Russian war crimes. In Kyiv, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Tropical storm Nicole pummeled Florida today. It's expected to weaken, though, as it moves across the southeast. Fox Weather's Nicole Valdez has more.
Heavy rain drenched Florida's east coast as Nicole moved ashore. The storm covered nearly the entire state, bringing winds to the center and west coast. Conditions knocked out power to more than 300,000 customers. Nicole dropped several inches of rain as it moved north, quickly flooding streets and homes.
It was like Niagara Falls. It was crazy, just water pouring in, and we couldn't do anything in time.
The storm made landfall overnight near Vero Beach as a Category 1 hurricane, but further north around Daytona, multiple homes and businesses collapsed into the ocean after surging water wiped out their foundations. Officials evacuated many of those buildings Wednesday. Several of those structures had already been damaged by Hurricane Ian just weeks earlier.
Winds have been the main concern with the cold, but we've also seen heavy rains that have resulted in 3 to 5 foot of storm surge in some areas.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says transportation crews will deploy to inspect damage to bridges and roads. Forecasters expect the severe weather to remain a risk as Nicole moves across the southeast. Officials urging caution as the storm passes.
This storm is very large. Even if the eye has passed over your area, it may still be unsafe to go outside due to the heavy winds, flash flooding, and isolated tornadoes.
And all this happening as we approach the end of the Atlantic hurricane season, which is November 30th. In Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Nicole Valdez, Fox Weather.
And no doubt for many people, the end of that season could not possibly come soon enough. So awful to see that devastation when they're still reeling from Ian, and we're all still looking at the images from Ian and going, oh my gosh, how will you ever recover?
Right.
And now look at what's happened again. It's just terrible.
I know, and just seeing some of those images there coming out of this latest storm, really just shocking, especially for those coastal communities where whole entire homes are being lost. So
just unbelievable. Thoughts with them for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, our full 5-day is coming up next. Stay with us.
We've been getting spoiled with all of this warm weather in the area, but big changes are on the way. When does all that cold air arrive? I'll have all the answers and more coming up.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Now is the best time to get a great deal on a vehicle at #1 Van Sickle Kia. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles with payments and prices for every budget. Plus, we'll pay you top dollar for your late model vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. There's never been a better time to buy, sell, or trade at Van Sickle Kia.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
On Good Morning Maine, we start each day with a fresh look at what's happening and what's to come.
All the information you need, fast and to the point.
All while having a little fun, too.
We want to set you up for your best day ahead.
And you get a great start to your day by watching Good Morning Maine.
A rivalry reborn. Cowboys, Packers, Sunday on Fox.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
This is an exciting U.S. team. They're young, they're hungry.
Yo, Wes, could you pass that? Rolling it in, lays it off, cutting it back. What a finish! Thanks, man.
It's Thursday. Welcome back. Our main weather today is brought to you by Leona Mays Antique and Gift Shop in Newport. Come check out our 3 floors of antique treasures and gifts in our renovated 1800s home. All right, let's get into those weather conditions that we all want to hear. Not much going on in our states, but just to the west in Canada, lots of rain showers right now indicated in the green, but look at the blue colors right here. Those are snow showers that will be on the way. Not for us, though, but still moving east as the low continues to come closer and closer to us. So we'll be in the clear, not for long though. By Friday afternoon, especially in the overnight hours, rain really starts to move in, gets heavy at times, maybe some thunderstorms may be possible into the morning hours on Sunday, and then later on throughout the day, we'll finally start to clear up into the overnight hours on Saturday. But it's going to bring a good amount of rainfall, folks. Get ready. Over an inch of rain might be possible, even over 2 inches in and around our Bangor area. Look at the coast. Machias, Bar Harbor coming in with over 2-inch rainfall totals. And those are going to continue to be spot on all across the state. So get ready. A pretty big rainmaker is on the way. And of course, with that rain, those dew points will be rising. It's going to feel a little bit more muggy and uncomfortable. You might want to not really have a lot of layers on because it will really feel sticky outside. Highs today, though, we're looking nice, around 63 degrees here in Bangor, a couple of mid to upper 50s by the coast, Bar Harbor, coming in with a high of around 57 degrees, but still that is well above our average for this time of year. We've been spoiled with all these warm temperatures, but lots of warm air rising from the south, all throughout the Northeast, into Maine, and same thing even in the Midwest. But big changes are on the way. You see this right here? That is a sharp cold front that will continue to push east, and as it does, cold air will continue to come down all the way from Canada. Our high is supposed to be closer to 48 degrees. Look what happens the next couple of days. Friday, 62, 69 by Saturday, close to 70, and then bam, cold front comes in, 51 on Sunday, and even colder by Monday, and then same thing Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures will be in those low to mid 40s. That is going to be below our average of around 48 for this time of year. Tonight, though, another mild one. Temperatures in the mid 40s under a partly cloudy sky. It's going to be calm outside, so it's going to feel nice and comfortable outside tonight. Tomorrow, though, a nice rebound in temperatures. Once again, nice and enjoyable 60s outside under a mostly cloudy sky. And our extended forecast outlook does show big changes on the way. After the rain moves out into Sunday, temperatures cool off. Look at that nightly low. 28 degrees overnight on Sunday, and then Monday into Tuesday, temperatures will be below average in the low to mid 40s. Beth?
That looks a little more like it.
Yeah, really. Looking a lot more realistic than some of our previous forecasts.
I'm not trying to be a summer hater. I love the fall. I love the cooler temperatures.
Me too. Yeah. Well, here they are.
All right.
All right. Well, sports is coming up next, so stay with us.
The Furniture Gallery's pre-Black Friday deals are here. We're fully stocked just in time for holiday get-togethers. We've got your choice of 5-piece dining sets starting at $449. Need extra living room seating? Sectional starting at $699 and recliner starting at $299. Long-distance guests staying over? Queen mattresses as low as $299 with closeout mattresses up to $1,000 off. Special financing is available. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Maine's largest Chevy dealer, Quirk Chevrolet, has a tremendous selection of Chevy cars and SUVs. Silverado, where bold is just the beginning. Equinox, the all-wheel drive family SUV. Blazer, the trendsetter SUV. Looking for a quality, certified, or pre-owned vehicle? Look no further than Quirk Motor City, with over 400 used vehicles to choose from, plus a free Carfax history report. It's your Chevy car, truck, or SUV. Find it at Quirk Chevrolet in Bangor, Portland, and Rockland.
When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
Coffee Break Cafe is the best little cafe in Hamden where everything is homemade. Come try one of our famous omelets. We're open Monday through Friday from 6:30 until 2. Saturday is 6:30 till noon and 6:30 till 1 on Sundays.
It takes all types to play Family Feud. The Penny Pincher.
Name something a man might have in common with his underpants.
They cheat. The Blunt Mama.
If you knew Steve Harvey was at your door, you'd answer it wearing what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Gonna do it like that, Miss Carol?
See who shows up all season on Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. 8-man football state championships are this Saturday down in Augusta. And for the first time in almost 30 years, Orono football has the chance to bring home a gold ball. Now, there aren't many similarities between this year's team and the 94 squad, the last team to make it there, but there is one, the Parker family. Ryan Sudol has that story.
For the first time since 1994, the Orono Red Riots are playing for a football state title. And they're ready.
To be a part of the comeback in football in Orono. We have the whole community behind us again. It's been really awesome.
Some might say that lineman Noah Parker was born ready.
Brady, go with them.
His dad, line coach John Parker, was a lineman on that 94 team.
It's hard to say. Obviously, it means a lot to me to see him play in the same position I do. I think he plays a lot better than I do. It's fun to watch him.
It's awesome. The fact that I can play the same position as him, too, and he's here to help us, and I can ask him any question I have, and he'll always have an answer. That's the best part of it.
And despite all his successes on the field, John says his son's best qualities are the ones off the field.
He cares a lot about everybody around him, probably more about the people around him than he does himself, but he wants the team to succeed. That means a lot.
And other players' similar outlooks can be thanked because of bonds like the Parkers.
But we have lots of those connections on our team. Brady Grant, his dad is one of our assistant coaches. Preston Mayhew's got two boys who play. Jack Brewer, of course, and his dad. We've got lots of father and son connections that are really meaningful to Orono football.
And the team hopes these connections will mean a state title. The Red Riots will play the South 4-seed Old Orchard for the 8-man small title this Saturday at 2:30 at Coney High School. In Hamden, I'm Ryan Sudol, Fox 22, ABC 7.
Wishing them some luck down there. Like Ryan said, that game is at Coney. Let's stay with high school football now. With some weather incoming over Friday and Saturday, we've had some schedule changes. Let's check those out, starting with the Class B North Regional Final. That has always been at Lewiston between Skowhegan and Falmouth. The time has just changed. Kickoff is now at 4 p.m. The Class C North Regional Final, again, always been at Hamden Academy. That's going to be between Herman and Madomic Valley. That kickoff moved back an hour to 6 p.m. And then the Class D semifinal, it's actually a rematch of last year's Class D state final. Foxcroft Academy in Winthrop at Foxcroft Academy. Kickoff has been moved back to 5 p.m. in that one. All right, so wishing all of those teams luck. Let's do some basketball now. College hoops started up this week, and so did the Chris Markwood era for Maine men's basketball. Markwood, a South Portland native and former Black Bear, kicked off his career as Maine's head coach in Nebraska on Monday. The Black Bears entered that game as heavy underdogs, and they started slow, falling behind by double figures early. But they caught fire in the second half. They brought the game to within one against their Big Ten opponent. They also shot over 40% from three for the game, which is pretty impressive. And even with the loss, Markwood says he loves the way his team fought back.
Definitely thought we showed some resolve to fight back into it. You know, obviously we had a frustrating start to the game, which is, you know, it can be normal. We got a brand new group and you're going into a big stage. But again, a lot of positives to take away. You know, we're still growing. You know, hopefully down the road here, we'll be in a position where we can win those type of games.
The Black Bears, they return home on Friday for Markwood's first game back in the Cross Insurance Center since his assistant coaching days at Vermont. They play UMaine Fort Kent starting at 7 p.m. at the Cross. Good chance for Maine to pick up their first win of the Markwood era. And he says this whole experience has been surreal, and he can't wait to get out there in front of the home fans.
I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of nerves going out there tomorrow night just because of it is my first time back coaching on the Maine sideline, and you know, excited to put forth a product for our fans that they're going to be proud of here moving forward.
All right, moving on, let's go back to the Pats now. Again, no game this week. They're on bye, but the bye week gives them a great chance to take a step back and really look at things. From last year to this year, the offensive numbers are down, at least statistically, and the Pats sit at 5-4 record-wise. They have a really good shot at making a push for a playoff berth for the second straight year. I mean, is that the goal now, though, in a post-Brady era? Anyway, the bye week gives them a real good chance to kind of reevaluate what's been working, what hasn't been working, what they need to do more of, etc. Quarterback Mac Jones, says the team is just trying to get everyone better each day, and that's how they're trying to kickstart that final half.
Wherever you start the season, you want to finish better, so
and obviously you get a chance to evaluate halfway through the year usually, or whenever your bye week is. So obviously there's individual things you want to improve, fundamentals, technique. You can look at statistics, but a lot of times there's some false realities there. But at the end of the day, like I said, if each individual player gets better, then we can kind of put that together as a team and obviously as an offense, and then kind of kickstart the back half of the year here.
All right, they will try to kickstart the back half of the season next week when they play the Jets again. That's all the time we have for sports, though. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
When pipes froze and water damage ravaged a home, Bouchard Cleaning was there to restore and dry things up. When a home in Wells needed mold remediation, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration performed as promised. From Madawaska to Owl's Head, Ashland to Bath, we've answered the call. More than just a cleaning company, we're restoring Maine. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Ready, set, sketch!
2 celebrity-led teams.
An umbrella.
Umbrella's correct.
Face off. In a quick sketch showdown.
Everyone could see we're looking for Piglet.
Pictionary.
A person, a penguin.
Bird, big bird.
Big bird is correct.
Every weekday.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Puzzles are easy. Family, that's a real challenge. It happens rarely, but everything clicks into place.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
A rap icon gets a biopic, a closer look as Naomi Ackie as a legendary singer, and more. Fox's Steve Rappaport has the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Ah, we have found him, our star.
A new look at Pinocchio, Houston faces challenges, and Snoop tells his story in the Hollywood Nation. A Snoop Dogg biopic is in the works. The rap icon is teaming up with Universal Pictures to bring his life story and legacy to the big screen. Snoop will co-produce the film that will include music from his massive catalog. It marks his first project under his newly formed production company, Death Row Pictures.
Please welcome Whitney Houston!
Speaking of biopics, today's first look features Naomi Ackie struggling with fame as Whitney Houston in I Wanna Dance with Somebody. TriStar Pictures released a new trailer, giving an extended look at Accie's portrayal of the legendary singer, addressing criticism that her music is too white. The preview also shows other notable moments from Houston's career and personal life. It debuts in theaters December 23rd.
He's just a puppet.
No, I'm not. I'm a real boy.
And Netflix released the official trailer to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. The stop-motion animated musical is a reimagining of the classic tale about a famous wooden marionette on an adventure to find his place in the world. The film is currently playing in select theaters and will be available to stream December 9th.
The wooden boy with the borrowed soul.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Americans are spending on the holidays despite record high inflation. According to recent data from Adobe, Americans spent $72.2 billion on online holiday shopping in October. That's a 10.98% increase from the month before. In October, many major retailers began rolling out their early holiday deals to help ease the burden of holiday spending on shoppers. The biggest deals seen in categories including electronics and toys. Even with these early deals, Adobe is still just predicting.
Another holiday staple spending, and now fruitcake. Fruitcake is getting a new take. A soda company is giving a drinkable twist to the treat. I'm a little frightened at this point. Mountain Dew is unveiling its new flavor, fruitcake, for a limited time. Okay, that makes sense. The brand says the drink, called the Fruit Quake, features a sweeter take on fruitcake. On the outside, it displays the traditional holiday colors and is available in cans and bottles. Starting this month, the new drink will be available nationwide. A little curious.
As if it wasn't already sweet enough. Well, while many are tempted to get up close and personal with wildlife when they venture out, the National Park Service is warning that the consequences for such encounters could be totally terrifying. The National Park Service is specifically warning people not to lick the Sonoran desert toad. It's also known as the Colorado River toad. It's not clear if a recent incident prompted the warning. However, the Park Service says the Sonoran desert toads have glands that secrete a potent toxin. It can make you sick if you handle the frog or get the poison in your mouth. A report says the toads are in high demand this time of year, this year, because the toxin has been exploited as a psychedelic. The toads are captured to get the toxin so it can be smoked for euphoria or hallucinations. Very, very interesting.
Translation, leave the toads alone. All right, well, people in Sweden who can't decide on dinner plans are getting help by just pushing a button. Kaval, a Swedish grocery company, is trying a high-tech method to randomly decide dinner for its users. The system sends a recipe to a Kaval grocery store. Just 10 minutes later, a bike messenger delivers the meal ingredients. Now, it's not clear if the process has limits or if the app caters to people with special meal needs, such as vegetarians or people with allergies. According to The Verge, the company says the program is in its pilot phase. I kind of can't get my mind off the fruitcake Mountain Dew.
Really? I'm still like on the toad licking, but you know what? There's a lot to digest in that block.
There's a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
wowzers.
Oh, yeah. Man. Well, you know, off that last story, I think that's an interesting idea. I could see how like a burst in demand could make that hard maybe for the retailers. But sometimes you just don't know. It's like scrolling through Netflix and you can't decide what to watch.
You just need somebody to just, all right, here's what you're having, and that's it.
Exactly. It's very fun.
All righty, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us. Take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Shake that load off, shake that load off, shake that load off, shake that load off, shake that load off.